Well, the term, Aschalta de Geula, the beginning of the Geula, can have any number of meanings. I mean, what it basically means is that we are told in Psukim, and we are told in Chazal, that the advent of Moshiach is going to be preceded by a number of steps. So Aschalta de Geula is when we begin to see that some of these steps are beginning to materialize. Now, what are those steps? Part of them involve milchamos, various struggles, and then you'll have all sorts of interpretations, which war corresponds to which event, Gog and Magog, things like that. And part of it would be the fertility of Eretz Yisrael. The Gemara in Kesuvah says that Ein Lecha Kates Megula, you have no sign of redemption more openly revealed than the fertility, the rejuvenation of Eretz Yisrael, which we certainly have seen in the past. Right? So Aschalta de Geula simply means you learn Chazal, and you learn Tanakh also, of course, but in the light of Chazal's interpretation, and you see the types of things that are supposed to happen before the Geula comes, and then you can make a judgment that we are in the period of Aschalta de Geula. Now, where it gets murky is, like Satmar Rav, other people who are very anti-Zionist, they say that there can be mirages, there can be false starts, meaning to say, you can have the simanim, but they come from sitra achra, they come from the other side, they come from the satan, ways of fooling you. It's very hard to refute those arguments, because what you're basically saying is, no matter what I see, it can't tell me anything, because maybe there's a maisa satan that's creating certain illusions. So most people do take the view, Gedolim take the view that if it looks like a sign of Geula, it's a sign of Geula. Now, does that mean it's irreversible? Meaning, you're seeing signs of Moshiach. Does that mean that it's inevitable that the process will continue? Unfortunately, it's not inevitable. Meaning, through Averos and the like, the process could be arrested. The process could be stopped. And then it would have to start again, so to speak. And we also don't know how long the period's going to be. Aschalta de Geula might be 100 years, might be 200 years, right? So it doesn't mean Moshiach is coming tomorrow. There's a thought from the Chassam Sofer, very scary thought. They put it up on a wall poster, but it is indeed from the Chassam Sofer. The Chassam Sofer writes that we should not pray for the end of a war. If there's a war going on, and he's not just referring to Jewish wars in the world. He says, because if a milchama is part of the messianic process, until the war runs its course, if you end it prematurely, you're actually setting the world back for the coming of Moshiach. Therefore, your tefillos have to be, may Hashem bring the Geula as soon as possible, but not specifically for the end of milchama. It's a big chiddush. I think the Minhag HaOlam is not like the Chassam Sofer, but he made a point that, having immediate peace may not be the right thing if that's going to stop or interrupt the messianic process.
What's the difference between the term Aschalta Geula and Ikvus Mashiach? Is that the period before Aschalta Geula?
Yeah. So Ikvus Mashiach, the heels of Mashiach, that term actually appears in the Mishnah itself. Aschalta de Geula does not appear in the Mishnah. The Gemara mentions it only once. And of course in the Zohar, other Svarim, it's talked about quite a lot. Is there a technical difference between the two? I'm not aware of it. I think most Rav Elchanan Wasserman, for example, used the terms interchangeably. My guess is there probably are subtle differences, but I couldn't give you a definitive shot what the differences would be.